Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, people. Hope you're all well and welcome to a special Christmas edition of Kopish. Delighted to be joined by, as always, Matt and Drifty. We've got some top talent, people. We've got world class elite talent on the show today, people. We've got Stro. Welcome to the show, Stro. We've got
Salute,
Grizz.
man.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
for
show,
having me.
Grizz. And we've got James Redmond. Welcome to the show, James. Liverpool strong tonight, people. Liverpool is strong tonight. So how you guys doing?
Good, man.
All good, bro. All good.
Absolutely. How
Lovely.
can you not be doing well in these times? These festive times like this, it's absolutely brilliant.
Cal, you may have
marvellous.
Cal. You've got the Santa hat. I've got the Santa beard, man.
You just merge it.
What a collab, man.
Matt Drift, how you guys doing?
Bless, man.
Good, man.
Festive time now, innit? It's Christmas, bro. So, like, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Ever tried to
Indeed,
wrap like
indeed.
30 presents in one evening? It is a bitch.
I'll be honest. I'm not really a fan of wrapping paper. You know, I don't believe in it. I gotta be honest. I don't really believe in wrapping paper.
The disrespect.
It's screwed, yeah.
Callum's attitude is like, don't let you in packaging, it's all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's obvious, I guess. They're going to see it in 5 seconds. It doesn't matter.
I don't see the point in it because it's you get it, you wrap it, then it's ripped and it's thrown away. No one ever says, "Oh, that's some really nice wrapping paper. Thanks for that." Do you realise that?
Actually, they do, you know. They do. They do.
But saying that, they also gauge the way how you wrap your presents as well. Like, you know, some people might say, like,
they're the people that I don't like. They're the why you looking at the way I'm wrapping your paper? I understand where you're coming from. We've got to wrap a present. Come on, it's the tradition.
But there is a skill to it, though. There is a skill to wrapping.
There is.
Yeah.
Can't be some mishmash thing. You can't.
There is definitely a skill.
Excess wrapping paper makes it extremely difficult. You got to make sure the measurements are right.
I just want to confirm. I definitely remove tags and stuff. I'm not that bad.
No, bro.
I would never do that.
I think Nada's probably talking about the security tag, blood.
It's a hard year, bro. It's a hard year. So, guys, a few little things to get through this episode. So, we're going to start with a bit of rumours that have been happening so far. Hold on, wrapping paper got more durability than Navi, though. Let's get. Oh, jeez. Trudon straight into Matt. That's a 2-footed tackle in it. That's a 2-footed tackle. Matt, don't leave it. It's Christmas, Matt. We're going to move on from it, yeah?
No,
it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. I'll let it go.
That was Stud's first, that, mate.
I'll let it go.
Stud's first.
I'll let it go.
Universal boss Jurgen Klopp. Evening, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to you and your family and everyone on this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating as well. All right, so guys, we're going to start with Eder Militao. So Real Madrid centre-back, who can also play right-back, used to play for Porto, has been linked heavily with Liverpool today. We don't know whether it's for a permanent deal, for a loan deal, but he's out of favour at Real Madrid and he's been linked to us. Obviously, every centre-back in world football has pretty much been linked to us in the last couple of months because of the situation we're in. So Stro, I'm going to come to you first. 1, do you think it would be a good signing? And 2, how likely do you think it would be to happen?
It's a mad one because my boy is a lifelong Real Madrid fan. He's Spanish, so I've watched a lot of Real Madrid football with him. Militao's got mad potential. So I remember when we played him in the Champions League in 2018. I was at the game at Anfield and he stood out. He was solid. He looked decent. He is massively out of favour at Real Madrid. That Champions League game against Manchester City just proved it. He was out of his depth. A Real Madrid team without Sergio Ramos in it falls apart defensively, and he was the scapegoat for that game, and he's never really picked up the form since. So I'm not surprised he's out of favour. Do I think it will happen? It's a mad one because for me, you put any player, and I feel this, any player to Jurgen Klopp, I think he can improve them. Doesn't matter who they are. Like, that's how good of a manager this man is. So for me, it doesn't matter. You could just literally put insert name there, any centre-back in world football, and I think he'll take them to the next level. So do I think it will happen? Possibly, but I'd much rather want shares from Ajax than Militao, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. Grizz, I'll come to you next. What's your feelings on the situation?
Do you know what? We liked him. We scouted him very, very much so in 2019. He apparently he was Edward's first choice before he joined Real Madrid, but he chose Real Madrid. So he must be still on the. I haven't heard his name mentioned this time, but from what you guys have just told me, apart from what you guys have just told me today, but if there's any chance of getting Militao in, you get him in, because at the time when I found out we were linked with him, I wanted him bad because he's everything that you need in a centre back, in my opinion. Apparently, it's not. It's, with his situation at Madrid, apparently he's homesick and all this business. He's struggling with the move itself. He's still fairly young, but he's a monster centre back, man. He's got everything. You're talking very similar to the traits Varane had when he was like a real footballer. I don't know what's happened to Varane. He's not a footballer anymore, man. He's making mad mistakes every single game now. But like the hype around Varane,
it's his true colours, Grizz.
I don't know, but the hype around him a few years ago, Varane, and he was balling back then. And so this guy, when they, he was one of the most sought after defenders, man, in Europe. Chose Madrid, but we know Madrid's a cesspit, isn't it? It's mad over there. So I don't know how you survive over there. It's very difficult.
You don't. For real, bro.
You know what I mean?
Very few do.
So if we could any chance of getting him, I would snap him up, but I can't see it, man. I can't really see it, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. James, before I ask you the same question, got a super chat here from OL. So this is following in from the last show we did. So question for Grizz, James and Stro. Would you take Bamford over Origi? Quiz question, yes or no? Big up from Czech Republic. So, James, I'll start with you. Yes or no?
No, you just have to start with me. Should I go on my way first? Yeah, go ahead. Do you know what's mad? I'm actually not even just saying this. I wouldn't, purely based on the fact I know Bamford's scoring more, but I feel like he's a type of player that you have to play to his strengths. And this is what I have a problem with Origi, because we have to play to his strengths. And I don't feel like we should have to do that for any player with the way that we play. So I wouldn't take Bamford because Origi's got credit in the bank. But in terms of on form, Bamford's in better form. But that's because he's playing more as well. He's getting a more consistent run of minutes. So I just don't think it'd make sense to do that switch for someone who's not doing the business right now, for someone who will probably have a similar impact in terms of not getting involved in games and not heavily pressing. Does that make sense? So I prefer Origi.
Fair enough, Grizz.
I'm just trying to work out, is that a yes/no answer? Boy.
That's it.
I'm thinking I've got to think of something to say. No. Jokes aside, I'll take Bamford. Not because of recency bias or anything like that, because Bamford's playing out, but Bamford is an intelligent striker. We've got the pace, we've got the power in all other. No, I'm being straight.
No, he's
going to get his chance.
Let him land.
Yeah. So we got the pace, we got the power with Salah, Mane, Jota. Another striker was to be added. You have to be an intelligent one like Bobby. We haven't got another. Do you know what I mean? I know they're intelligent, but Bobby's got that high game intelligence. Bamford ain't got the raw pace, power. He's got power. He ain't got the raw pace and sort of a Origi, but he's got the intelligence. And my God, Klopp loves an intelligent forward, and so I'd take him over Origi.
Stro, what's your answer, bro?
Nope, and I'll tell you why. So, Mrs. Dad's a Leeds fan, and he drives him insane because of the amount of opportunities and chances that this man misses. Like, this man reminds me of, like, when you used to see York and Cole back in the day where they needed like 10 chances to score 4. Like, this man needs 15 chances to score 2. Like, it's crazy. You look at Leeds' conversion rate this season, they've got the most shots. I think second most shots in the Premier League, but yet like this 18th, 19th in conversion rate, and majority of that's down to him. I think he's very intelligent. I think Leeds are much better when he's in the team. But for us, we need someone that's clinical if we're going to be getting another striker. And for me, I just don't think he'd do it for us, clinical-wise, especially if we're away at the Etihad and one chance falls to him and it needs to go into the back of the net. I don't fancy him to put it in, to be honest. So, no, it's a no from me. But I do like him as a striker.
Fair enough. John Conway, good evening, guys, and Merry Christmas from Ireland. Good evening to you, and Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
John.
Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas, man.
James, your thoughts on Eder Militao? Would you take him at Liverpool? Do you think we should look somewhere else?
I would take him because he's 22 and I'm on the same boat as Stro, really, because I think Jurgen Klopp can just improve any centre-back. That being said, Callum, I've said this to you for a while, my mate, I don't think we're going to get one. I don't think we're going to get one. I don't think it's going to happen, boys. I mean, I know, like, you're asking me, would I take him? Yes, because I'd take near enough anyone just based on the fact Matip isn't reliable, and if Matip goes out injured, then it's a problem again because Gomez is out, Van Dijk's out, so it's a problem again with the fact that we've only got Fabinho there, then you've got Reece Williams, and then you've got Nat Phillips, and even though they've done okay, can you rely on them to play week in, week out? And then what if something happens to one of them? So it's a weird sort of case that Liverpool are in where, yes, we're bringing in a Militao, he's probably going to want him to fight for the first spot, or a first team spot, but that's not impossible, especially with the fact that Matip is unreliable. But I just don't think from Liverpool's mindset, they feel like they need one, so they're not going to go out and get one. Why go out and this is their perspective, we can only look at it from their point of view. Why go out and get a centre-back when you don't need one? Why go out and spend money when you don't need one? Even though I feel like we do, I just don't think they're going to look at that, especially with the fact, I mean, I don't know if someone mentioned this before, but he hasn't been in great form. It's all something that I heard. So if that's the case, then why go in on someone like that, especially when you're going to have to pay a certain amount of money that, again, that Liverpool might not feel they have to spend. So
very true. Matt, Drift, what's your guys' thoughts on it?
I don't know much about him, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know a whole lot about him. From what the guys have been saying, it seems like he is a good player. And James is spot on. We need a centre-back. We can't keep relying on the youngsters. Reece has done extremely well. And obviously, Nat has done a few bits and pieces. But the fact that Hendo went centre-back and Nat was on the bench, I'm feeling like maybe Klopp's already figured out that he's not quite the level we need, even though he did do all right. In the West Ham game especially, he actually played really well in that West Ham game. But we need a centre-back. We do need a centre-back. Matip's made of biscuits. And it's going to be, if we don't, I don't really like to have a go at the committee because they always seem to pull off the best signings possible, and we never really ever get anything wrong. I think only the goalkeepers we've ever got wrong, but yeah, you can't not, like, you know what, Reece Phillips playing as well as he had is a worry, even though it was great for him and for the club, because that's almost like the excuse. Like, if he'd have had like 4 or 5 really bad games and it was like, oh man, we can't really do this, and Henderson had to play centre-back, the club would have to buy a centre-back because they'll be like, yeah, we can't have the captain at centre-back playing next to the other DM who's a midfielder, and we've got no actual defenders in the team at the moment. But because Reece has played really, really well, and Fabinho is now the best centre-back in the league, taking over from Van Dijk till he gets back, it's almost like it's making an excuse for them to not buy anyone. And I almost love it and hate it at the same time. It's really weird.
Matt, before I come to you, I'm just going to read out a super chat from 2Pixel2. Origi is that used up old crumpled Christmas present you give to someone when you ain't got money, worth 2 fish and a can of beans. Drift, I think that's a direct. To you, Drift.
Yeah. Two Pixels is proving to me that he's not a Santa Claus, man. He's a Scrooge, man. So I'm not even gonna, because a Christmas present, old dusty wrapping present, don't score a brace against Barcelona in the winning goal in Champions League final. I'm sorry.
It wasn't the winning goal.
When that happens, come talk to me. Bamford, please.
Don't be hurt,
Matt, your thoughts on Militao? Shout out to LFC Day Trippers as well. Go subscribe to them if you haven't already, people.
Do you know the Militao thing? Yeah, I'll be real with you. He's a decent centre back. He's good. The only thing is that I will say this: when I've seen Real Madrid play, they always play better when they play Sergio Ramos and Varane together. Now I know Varane hasn't been the same, maybe even arguably for about 18 months. But when Ramos comes into the team, he does make Varane look better. When I've seen Eder Militao play next to Varane, they don't look the same. Now that could be a lot of things, as Grizz said. Maybe he hasn't settled. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's loved at Real Madrid because he is third choice. Now, if he was to come at Liverpool, as you lot have already said, I think Klopp would improve him dramatically because I think there's a defender there, and I think he's got more potential than what he's actually showing. The question is, though, and it's always the case, are we really going to do some January shopping? Let's be real. We know our club better than anyone else. So my perspective is this. If you can get him, you should at least explore the options. because there's other defenders that are out there that potentially we haven't spoken about. There's quite a few, but he is one that I kind of do like. But again, it's all down to whether Klopp feels like he's at that stage where, right, I've got no choice now. Because for me, we are playing kind of like what's the word? We're playing a gambling game because we don't know if Matip could break down a game. We don't know whether Fabinho could pick up another injury. Do you know what I mean? And those two are the only, they're the first choice centre backs. Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, they've done very well, but I still feel like in the long haul, I feel like Klopp still wants another centre back. Whether he gets that in January, I think it's more going to be likely in the summertime. But I think there's a reason why we've been linked with Militao, and that's because I don't think Klopp is fully happy. And there was a game that we played, as Drew said, when Henderson went to centre back, and I think we had a centre back on the bench, and he didn't play him. That says a lot to me. That says you don't fully trust that person. You may rate them, you may give them minutes in a game that you feel like maybe is not as important, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you're not fully sold on them.
Fair enough. I mean, it'll be interesting. There's a couple other names. So, I mean, Sven Botman's been linked with us. Renato Sanchez. Pau Torres has been loosely linked with us. So there's quite a few players out there. Pau Torres is the one I want. I've made no secret of that. He reminds me of a young Daniel Agger.
That's not loose, Cal. That's not loose.
Say again, sorry?
Pau Torres ain't a loose link. That's a serious link.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a serious link.
Okay.
This time you might be getting a DM. Last time I gave Drift the DM. You might be getting a DM this time.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. If we get Pau Torres, I'm gonna be elated.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be so happy.
But we're not going to. Like, why are we getting this in our head? Right, Grizz clearly knows well more about football than I do. Clearly,
no.
All right, well, you know more about the inside links because I didn't know we were strong with Pau Torres. That being said, I just Liverpool are playing a risky game here because I really do think they're not going to go out and get a centre back. And if something does happen, which is very likely, we're going to be like, oh, well, that's a crisis. Do you know what I mean? Because
are we talking January? Are you talking January?
Yeah, January.
Yeah. January is very unlikely. I get that. No. Sorry, I thought that these centre backs.
Oh, overall, yeah.
No, January's. But
looking... even not getting one in January, though, Grizz, that's very risky game. It's very risky game, especially if you want to go and win the league, which Liverpool most certainly do. So.
But there's a reason why they're not. Apparently, they're not going to get one in January because we've got some. Praise the Lord, we've got some good news coming with one of our centre backs coming back.
Grizz,
praise the Lord, man. Just keep praying. That's why. No, seriously, no joke. This is why.
My name.
But it's still a risk. It's still a risk. Don't get me wrong. It's a mad situation because it's clear to see.
My centre back is on steroids,
He's an absolute animal, bro.
Levels.
But let's be honest, guys. Even if that was the case, we do actually still need one because we've only got 3 anyway.
Yeah, we still need one. I agree. We still need one.
Still haven't replaced PlayStation.
And obviously Matip's almost like not having one because even though he's a very, very, very good defender when he's fit, we all know if it starts raining, it could injure him. If he slips in the bath, if he stretches for the remote.
But at least Matip alone, man.
Yeah, but Drift, we also know we've had this guy in charge for how many years now. We also know, and unless he can get his man, he's very, very stubborn. Hates.
Yeah.
He just hates having fullback options or short-term. I don't even think because like the days of getting a Clavan in, he's not a man. I would, you would, every one of us would, but this guy is special, man, and I guess we got to trust him, man. He's took us this far, so there must be a reason why. Because otherwise, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can see we need a centre back and we need one in January, 100%. But apparently, we're not pushing for January.
The thing is, though, Grizz, even though he's the best manager in the world and we love him and his stubbornness makes him how good he is, it does every now and again worry you because it's almost like that the stubbornness turns a little bit into arrogance. And if you go back to a few of the other seasons and you think like, when we didn't have a backup for Mane or Salah, thank the Lord they were both okay. If anything had ever happened to any of them in the last 2 seasons, Klopp's arrogance would have come back to cut. You get what I mean?
I hear you, but there's too many ifs with Klopp in terms of it doesn't, these ifs happen for it to be a fluke, man. That's what I'm saying, man. It's too many if this happened, if this happened. He's got us to the promised land, man. Let's just go with it, man.
He should have replaced Lovren now. Like I agree with everything that you've just said. My manager, but should have bought a centre back. Like it's just there's no doubt about it. And I think we're starting to like Matip. Do you remember when Daniel Cormier had I can't remember what title fight it was, but he sneezed and his back went out. That's the
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis. Do you remember that? That's Matip right now. It's like anything can happen. When we don't. Do you remember the back injury that he had literally the other week? That just came out of nowhere. That's probably going to happen many more times throughout the season. And then if we go into a game without a Joel Matip and we start at Rhys Williams, who looks solid right now, but it's very early, and it's like to rely on him for multiple Premier League games at this level, this quick, this soon, to be in a title charge. It's a lot to ask when you can just go out there, and we're not asking for loads. We're just a centre back. Do you know what I mean? That's the only point I'm trying to get across. You know what I'm saying?
Even if you loan a player, like just bring in a loan. So we've just got somebody who's more reliable than Reece and doesn't put pressure on Reece. Look how good Curtis is looking right now because we didn't bring him into the team with pressure. You can break young players sometimes if you put too much pressure on them. We don't want Reece playing centre-back in some Champions League quarter-final and he just bottles it because he's never been in that pressure before. We don't want that. You know what I mean? Go and just get a loan even, and then we can go and deal with it in the summer, man.
Do you know what, Jeff? You see how you're saying about loan? I agree with you, but do you want to know something as well? Well, we kind of have to be careful. Now, I don't know if you guys will agree, but I think today or the last couple of days, we've been linked with Ezekiel Garay. He's like 34, 35 years of age. He's had an ACL injury himself, if I'm not mistaken. And the links kind of surprised me. Now, obviously, these things can be just the agent kind of trying to build up some noise and try and get his client a move in general. Because I don't even think he's got a club. So I just think it's maybe to try and get him back into the game, so to speak. But it's things like that, Jeff, where we have to be careful. So even though what you're saying, loan, we don't just want any guy. Now, I know you're not saying get any guy, but I don't want Liverpool to kind of go into that desperation mode where they go, we just got to get a centre-back who's experienced. And then we end up with someone like that. And then you look back and think, we should have just stuck with Rhys Williams and that finished. You know, like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, you do it smartly. You do it smartly. Do you know what I mean? You don't just get any, ain't no Tom, Dick and Harry business. But we just go and whoever's out of favour at their club, but they are a good player. Do you get what I mean?
Matt, do you think that Garay is a better player? Oh, sorry, do you think that Rhys Williams is a better player than Garay right now?
Do you know, I haven't seen Garay play for a long time. Like, if I'm being dead for real. But
same, to be fair.
Yeah. But the thing is, the only thing you can say about Garay, you just kind of think about his previous experience that he's had. And he used to be a very, very good centre-back. But that's the problem. Since his injuries, has he ever been the same? I can't answer that. Maybe other people can. But I just think when you're 34, 35 years of age, you kind of just want to play at that point. Are you really going to have that same passion that Rhys Williams would have, as Drift would say, in a Champions League final? Because Rhys has, you know what I mean, gone through a different background from Ezekiel. So him having that fire inside him might actually make him the better defender because he's more willing to stand in front. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas Ezekiel Garay's probably thinking, I'm just happy I've got a club here. I can't believe Liverpool just picked me up, kind of. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bit like Adrian. Well, we won't talk about it.
Couple of super chats. So 2Pixel2 scored the Champions League semi-final and final goal. Origi is that guy that only busts a nut with his misses on his anniversary. The rest of the time he misses. Yikes.
Damn,
2Pixel2 is really coming for you today. M to the O.
I told you, Scrooge McDuck.
M to the O. Just want to say you've all individually made lockdown more bearable with your content. Merry Christmas to all of you and much love. Beautiful comment. Thank you very much for that. And
big up, man. Big up.
Yeah, we are fortunate to have Grizz, James, and Stro on today as well because they're all brilliant at what they do as well. Indeed. So, Stro, I'm going to come to you with the next question. So, again, loose reports have come out today that Liverpool have offered Gini a new contract. However, so it's a 2-year extension, which doubles his current salary, and then there's an option for another 2 years. But those 2 years, nothing has been concrete or confirmed in regards to the salary he would get if you were to give him another 2 years. Rumors coming out that he probably won't accept it if that is the terms of the contract. Do you think we should just give him a flat 4-year contract and just say, look, well, obviously within reason, not take what you want, but we'll double your money and then we'll go from there?
How old is he now?
29.
29.
33. From a fan point of view, because I absolutely love Ginny, I'd say yes. But from a Liverpool point of view, I just don't think a 4-year contract makes any sense. Because you've got the likes of Curtis Jones coming through, you've got Harvey Elliott that's going to be coming back in the next year. He's going to start really shining. He's done well when he's been at. I think it's a Klopp can do different things with regards to the formation and the tactics. I love Ginny as a player, as you all know, but a 4-year deal's a lot for a midfield that's going into that age. And for me, it looks like his head's already kind of not with it. It just, for me, I just feel like he's gone, which is an unfortunate thing to say, but. Yeah, 4-year deals for me, I'd do it absolutely. But from a Liverpool point of view, I just don't think it makes any sense given the model of the club and the way that we've been operating for the past few years. If it was a 2-year deal with an extension to go to a 3rd year, absolutely put it on the table, give him what he wants. But yeah, for me, a 4-year deal just seems like a hell of a lot.
Fair enough. Grizz, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Gini's been an inspiration this season, hasn't he? He's the hero that we needed this season. So like from what I'm about to say won't make sense, but I'm in the same boat as Stro, man. The policies, the contract situations, the way they've handled things since they've been here has been mixed. And they've made mistakes. We know they've made mistakes, like extending Lovren at the time, Lallana. You know, they've held on to players when they shouldn't have, or could have got rid of them. Do you know what I mean? But they've learned from their mistakes again, like everything else. And recently, we've tied up all majority of the big boys to bad boy lucrative contracts. So all of them are tied down. So you got to praise them as well that they're learning to keep hold of these big boys. Gini's a strange one, man. It was nothing about money. We're ready to offer him what he wants. It's always about the contract, length of contract. And again, I'm like with Stro. It's not my money. It's not my planning. I don't give a shit. I want to win now. I just want the best now. So for me, I'll just do what you got to do to keep Gini at all costs. But you got to see it from their side. You got Grizz coming back next season as well, who's been promised. Like, we're not selling him. We're not selling him because things like this, situations like this, where he could have already made Gini replacement. I'm not talking stylistically, but you know what I mean. Another midfielder that we've got on our books and he's so highly thought of around Europe. Curtis Jones coming through the ranks. Naby Keita's we've had offers for Naby Keita, but he don't want to get rid of Naby Keita because he knows that he's got a player there. You know, we've got all the other players so Fabinho ready to come back into midfield. Don't forget that. You know, let's say we get a couple of centre backs, possibly Fabinho to come back into midfield. So it's a tough one from Liverpool point of view. They don't want to give 4. They don't want to give. What's he doing? Mad fucker. But yeah, it's a tough one from Liverpool. From a Liverpool point of view, it's a tough one. We want him to stay, but I can see them not budging and saying, "Look, we can't do 4 years." They're trying to get to an agreement where they can do 3 years and then look at it again. But you can understand Gini exploring his options, man. He's in every right to do so, and you know, I think he's gone, man. I can't see him budging now. The only thing that keeps me going is, do you know, like Emre Can had already agreed to go by now. He had agreed with Juve. It was done, right? Everything. Gini hasn't agreed with anyone yet. So that's the only thing that we cling on to and say maybe they can come to an agreement, man. But it's a difficult one with Gini, man.
Yeah. James, just before I come to you again, James, again, shout out to Anfield HB on Twitter, who enlightened me about the offer that came out today. And two pixel two's kind of just taken my question. So Genie and Tiago are the same age. If you can sign a 29-year-old on a 3-year deal, then why not keep a 29-year-old for 4 years? And another thing I will say as well is, I think gone are the days where we can look at a player who's 30 and think they're kind of coming to the end now, because you only have to look around some of the other players who are still at the peak of their powers into their early and mid 30s. Even someone like Thiago Silva, again, I still think some of the praise he's got has been a bit overrated, but everyone kind of thought he's going to be out of his depth. He's 36, come to the Prem, and for the majority of the season, he's looked fine, to be honest. So, again, with that, James, do you think that we should give him the 4-year contract, or do you think we should try and get him down to 3 or even 2 and then go from there?
Give him 5. Give him 5, mate. Honestly, Genie Wijnaldum he has that respect from me, and I just feel like what he offers to this team, he can offer for the next 4 to 5 seasons. Because I think one thing that we've noticed as well, and don't get me wrong, James Milner is a different specimen, but like this team is fitter, and I feel like our minds say like, oh yeah, when they get to about 32 or 33, it's done. But I feel like that's now changing as time's going by, as players are getting more fitter, they're taking more care of themselves. I feel like that's now extended slightly. I'm not saying he can go till he's 40, but 34, 35, mate, why not? Genie Wijnaldum's shown for club and country, he can play 2 completely different roles. He is sensational, and he's available, and he's reliable. And for as long as we can have that, until the wheels start falling off, as long as we can give him minutes, which we very much certainly can with the performances he's putting in. Like you said as well, great point on Thiago, 3-year contract for him. Why? Because he's just that good. Because he deserves that. We're not thinking about age, we're thinking about what he offers to us now and for the next few years. Sometimes you've got to put age out of the equation. Now, I understand what Stro's saying. From Liverpool's perspective, they might be thinking, well, bit excessive. For me, you ask me, based on what I've seen of Genie and what I know he can offer, no matter what role you tell him to play, he adds so much, mate. He adds so much. So I'm that sign here, sign there, and sign everywhere, because I'll take Genie for however long.
Ty, how is a 4-year deal excessive? A 2-year deal means we're in the same position next year where he can leave on a free. He's 29, not 39.
Fantastic point. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great point.
Obviously, Matt and Drift, I kind of know I know your thoughts on this.
Do you know what it is, guys? Just one last thing. Sorry, from within. Just one. Yeah, exactly. But do you know what it is? It's sometimes you have to look beyond like the emotional side of it. Yeah, he's been an absolute beast, as I said, this season. But there is going to be a point where we have to start a rebuild in this team. And we've all discussed it before on our own shows and blah, blah, blah. There has to be, because this team, we don't want it aging together. Yeah, so he's in that bracket of the 29, 30-year-olds, and we've got 6, 7 of them right now. So you got the planning side of things. You've got to remember, Liverpool think at least a year ahead, 2 years ahead. Yeah, so and part of their learning process is not to make the mistakes that they've made in the past that we've discussed of certain players like Lover and whatever. And so people keep beating them with that bush, like, why did they give X player? Why can't they do it now? Well, it was a mistake. You know, you can't. They are allowed to make mistakes, and they made mistakes. So maybe they don't want to get into the emotion of things, but the way he's playing and the way he's performed this season, obviously, it's changed their mind to keep offering him different types of deals, as opposed to Emre Can. We offered him a deal, take it or leave it. Now we're saying, okay, Genie, look, all right, sod that deal we offered you. Now we're looking to compromise. So maybe it's changing their mind, but you know, we've got to trust them that they know how they're planning. Maybe they've got a player lined up. Let's say for argument's sake, hypothetically, you know, I'm not saying we're going to get him or anything, but let's say they've got like a man like Renato Sanchez or Basuma agreed, like, you know, okay, this is what we're going to do. A younger version of Genie, you know, ready to go. Do you know what I mean? So these kind of things we don't know about. So we can only say on face value and like the way he's playing, and he's a fucking machine. We can say, yeah, just sign it. But they have to think of these things deeper, man.
Grizz, if we swap Genie for Sanchez, I will do a 10-minute rant.
No, I'm just saying.
Actually,
I just
it
pull out a
might be
name.
a 20-minute rant.
Make that half an hour for me, Drift. I'm on the same boat, fella.
No, I get what you're saying. He was just saying a name, but I will say this.
Yeah.
This is just obviously just giving a name. I will say this though, because I think we're all in agreement. Yeah, this is how I see it. Forget the age. I don't care if Genie, like 29 is just 29. I don't know why a lot of people think when you reach 29, it's like you're about to fall off a cliff. It don't work like that in football, you know. there's so many ballers out there, as you guys have already mentioned as well, yeah? Like, look at Modric. I know Modric's like the same player, but he can still ball. Tony Cruz can still ball, and I'm pretty sure Tony Cruz is older than 29. There's so many players out there that I think you look at what they bring to the table. Gini Wijnaldum never gets injured. I think he's probably missed about 10 Liverpool games in his whole career, yeah? Things can change. That's right. That's football. He could get a bad injury. But as you look at things right now, if I'm not mistaken, he's our fourth captain, highly respected. The guy balls out week in, week out, can play in the middle three. The guy even done a false nine for us when we needed him the most against Barcelona. Not many players are even going to accept that, let alone do it. Gini was like, do you know what? The team comes first. None of this personal stuff. I care about the team. I just think we just got to show man respect because I'm very passionate about this. Gini Wijnaldum, in my opinion, should not be replaced by any midfielder. I think he's deserved the right to get that 4-year deal. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I think he's deserved it because you look at the performances that this man's put up in clutch situations, yeah? Going back to when we needed to qualify for the Champions League. Champions League on the last day. I think it was the 16-17 season, I think, Cal. Was it that season?
Yeah.
Bro,
he scored the first goal against Middlesbrough.
Yeah. He's always been clutch for us. So I get it, what you're saying, Stro and Grizz from Liverpool side, because they're probably thinking, Raj, you know what? We don't necessarily know. Things can change with Gini. When he gets a certain age, maybe his body could start breaking down. But I just think Liverpool have to just do the honest thing and be like, you know what? He's never let us down so far. Let's just give the man what he deserves. And when it comes to wages and that, he's got to be one of the high earners for me because I think he deserved it. I generally do, man.
Well, it's like, did you hear the story going into the Tottenham game?
No, not even.
So, obviously, you know, after the Fulham game, how we started slow and stuff like that in the first half. It wasn't.
Oh, I know what you're going to say, yeah.
Oh.
Ginny was in the changing room screaming at everyone while they were getting ready and getting all the kit on, saying, look, we do not start slow today. This is not the day to start slow. To me, that's that leadership, because obviously Van Dijk's not there in the changing room. He's then now stepped up. For me, like I said, I'm talking from a Liverpool point of view. From my point of view, give him whatever he wants. I love Gini Wijnaldum. Like, he is an unbelievable player. But it worries me because I think Liverpool will do what Liverpool want to do instead of what they should be doing. And for me, like I said, it's worrying, and I said the same as Grizz. I think he's already gone, and that kills me because I absolutely love him as a player.
Yeah. Listen, even though what you lot have all said are true points and they make sense, so everyone is making sense of what they're saying. But for me, this is all about loyalty and respect, even above anything else. The man has been the lowest earner out of every single player. And if you actually go through the team, you'd probably say he's probably in the top 6 most important players in why we've just done back-to-back Champions League and Premier League. It's about just giving the man what he deserves. The man's been on 70 grand while everyone else is getting 150, 180, 190 and all that. I don't care if he sits on the bench for 2 years and don't do shit. He's just getting back the money he should have got now. Like, who cares? Honestly, the club right now, what I feel like is that the club aren't putting any respect in him. And I'll tell you why. Van Dijk, they're trying to get him a new deal. Best defender in the world. Of course, we want Van Dijk to sign a new deal. Same age as Gini. I believe he turns 30 before Gini does.
No, Hendo, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Our captain.
But
he's still the same age. He's 29. Hendo, our captain, is 30. Will be 31 soon, yeah? What are you going to tell me? We're going to not negotiate Hendo a new contract? Okay, well, is this what we're doing? No, we're going to give Hendo a contract. We're trying to get Virgil a 5-year deal now. We signed Thiago at 29 on a 3 or 4 year deal. Now, these players, you might see them as a better player than Gini, but none of them are actually as reliable as Gini. And maybe Van Dijk, obviously, this injury is a bit of a fluke, but Hendo, you don't know how I feel about Hendo, but he's not as reliable injury-wise as Gini. Do you get what I'm saying? Thiago wasn't a part of any of that success. He might be the best midfielder in the world, but he wasn't part of our success. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're going to tell me that Gini can't just get what he deserves? Nah, for me, it's about loyalty and respect to the player. And he's been on half the wages all the other guys have been on, while they've been getting all the plaudits, and he's the running himself into the ground in midfield, getting no love and no real respect for it. Unless you really pay attention, just give him the dip. Like, who? Name me 5 midfielders box to box in world football right now that can replace Gini as either the best substitute you can ever bring on, or to play because our other players get injured a lot. Like, just give the man the contract, man. Stop the disrespect, man. Like, I don't get it. If he goes, I'm going to be livid. Livid.
Hopefully it doesn't happen. I'll be honest, I don't see him staying. I'll be broken-hearted. I don't see him staying, though. I think
I
if
think
it
he's
was going
going
to
to go as
happen,
well, which is a
yeah, I think it'd have been wrapped up by now. I'll be broken-hearted, but I
For
just think that's where
free.
we're at now.
Imagine that. We're gonna let Genie go
Yeah.
for
That'll be a
free.
disgrace. Every ounce of
free,
good
you know?
every ounce of good business that we've done, that will take a lot away from it for me. If you're letting Genie Wijnaldum go for free when he's in the middle of his prime, don't take the piss.
Do you know what hurts even more as well? You see how we got Thiago, yeah? You see Bayern Munich. Thiago a year left. I know Genie's contract's about to run out, yeah? Liverpool should have done everything in their power to sort this last year, you know? When he had that year left, going into this season. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We've kind of lost.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
We've
Imagine
lost all
this guy,
negotiation. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you, bro. This guy came in with Mane, yeah, at the beginning of the whole change of what Klopp was trying to do, yeah. So he's actually part of the reason why we are as good as we are. He's there from the beginning. He's a foundation piece, fam. He's a foundation. And then he sat there and watched Bobby get a new deal, Salah get a new deal, Mane get a new deal. Do you get what I'm saying? He's watching all of these guys who were either been there less than him or came in when he came in or even after him in Salah's case. And he's thinking, bro, I'm still sitting there in this Dibby 70 grand, putting in more performances than most. And you guys can't even just, like, from his point of view, he has been so professional. I rate it higher than most because he should have thrown his toys out the pram by now when you really think about it. He should have been like, I'm on what? And you lot are giving all these guys new deals and you're letting me gonna run my deal and go for free. All right. Do you know what I mean? All right.
You know what? I'll be real with you. I'm surprised he never punched up Klopp. And I know, Grizz, you said it best when you said Liverpool make mistakes. And this is where we made the mistake. Imagine Gini Wijnaldum's face when he saw Dejan Lovren get a new contract. And that's no disrespect to Dejan Lovren, but I'm sorry, bro. You can't do that. You just can't. You really can't. Dejan Lovren got a new deal ahead of Gini Wijnaldum and was on more money than him. And even if you take money out the window, let's just say you take money out the window, Grizz. No.
Just they'd have to use that as an example.
Take money out of the window,
I agree,
even, so to speak.
I agree.
Status. Even if you look at status, let's just throw money aside. Don't even matter how much Lovren's getting. It's about status. Liverpool at that point said, you know what? We feel like Dejan Lovren is more important to the club.
I agree. Like that passionate speech from Drifty got me. Like, you know what I mean, Christmas Eve and all that, and I'm feeling that. No, it was real. Everything he said was real, and I totally agree with that aspect. And that's us as fans, innit? We feel that, we see that what he's given to us is unfair and everything. I'm just playing slight devil's advocate here, and I'm saying we don't want to be in contract messes like clubs like Arsenal, United, Chelsea. These clubs, they can afford to, they've wasted contract monies and got into messes, giving players 4-year deals when they didn't deserve it, or 3-year deserves. Aubameyang's an example recently, or other Pogba's as well. So many examples of these clubs where they get tied into contracts with players just bowing down to their initial demand. I agree. From our point of view, we, as I said, we just judge it on what the guy's given to us and blood, sweat, and tears. We see all that, and we see he deserves that or deserves something. But the business people, the planning people, the strategists, even the analytics people, man, they may have seen something. I can't see it this season, but they may I know you said they should have dealt with it last season, but maybe they saw something in his analytics that showed them that he's reached his peak. We've seen the best years of him, and he could be on the downward spiral, because we know our analytics people look into these things deep. But this season they thought, whoa, that peak is still going, bro. So we need to change our mind. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully something like that happens, man.
Before we move on, guys, just deep this real quick. Last season and for the rest of this season, Park Life is picking up the same wage as Genie. Just deep that.
For you guys who don't know what Park Life is,
Cal's allergic to bullshit. You see that?
Samir Taylor, question for the guests: which centre backs would you buy for Liverpool and why? I've kind of touched on this, but if I could just get an answer from all of you guys. So James, I'll start with you first. Which centre back would you get and why?
Top of my mind, Pearce, just because even though I know he hasn't been great for Ajax, he's going to be cheap. He's young, and Jurgen Klopp can most certainly turn him into a great player. Plus, we've got the people there like Genie and Verge to help him grow as well.
Cool. Grizz?
Yeah, Shares or Sven Botman of Lille.
Okay. And then Stro?
Shares or Paul Torres, one of them two.
Fair enough. Edward, a point is we do not want the team to grow old together. A point is, do we want the team to grow old together? Is my only worry, as our midfield in the past 3 years has done a lot of legwork. So different with Thiago, who's only just come in. We say it's different. Thiago did a lot of legwork at Bayern Munich. They work hard at Bayern Munich. Just look at Goretzka. He turned up to Bayern Munich my size, and now he's walking around like Brock Lesnar. Like, you've got to work hard at Bayern Munich. There's no easy rides at Bayern. That's why I say Bayern and Liverpool are the two best teams in the world. Because if anyone's going to match us on the pitch for work rate, it would be Bayern Munich. That's the only team that can match us for work rate on a football pitch. Ty, Genie's game is one that has longevity. At this level, you can go on until 35. 29 is his prime. Do want to let one of our best players go in their prime. That's what we're all kind of saying.
Exactly.
Fully agree with that.
And he's versatile. He can take James Milner's place of being that guy who can fill in and stuff. Like, it doesn't make no sense, man.
Miss Super Chat, apologies. So, moment of the year, Monday show after the Villa game, 35 minutes in, Cal's face, where Matt said Adrian has never been purchased. Best reaction of the year. Yeah, that was a rough night, man.
That was a rough one, bro.
I just remember getting paid the same as Genie. How about that?
I'll be honest. See that game, yeah? After that game, when we did the post-match live, I was just on the sofa, I can't even remember what I was eating, and my missus come downstairs and she was just like, "Have you had some bad news?" And I was just like, "Have you not heard what the score was?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I was just like, "Look, let's just not speak about it. I'll come up to bed when I'm ready." I just left it there. It was a rough night. Agent Cal, don't know what juice FSG are on. Genie is proven and reliable for years, especially over any new player coming in, which is not assured they will bang. What I will say is, Agent Cal, can you use a better picture of me if you're going to use a picture? That's my only request. I don't know. It looks like I'm half straining on the toilet, half laughing. Like, can you just do something better for me there? Please help me out. All right, guys. So the next topic of conversation. So we're going to do things slightly different. So usually in any season, this would be the midway point of the season, but obviously it's not. But I do want to ask a few of you some questions and just kind of get your thoughts on things so far. So what would you say our best result? We'll treat this as a halfway point. What would you say the best result of this season, not the calendar year, but this season has been so far? Stro, I'll start with you.
Tottenham, just for what it meant. And because think about it, people then started to talk about, all I heard from the beginning of the season was if we had an injury to Van Dijk, our season was over. We then got that injury to Van Dijk. Then I heard was if you get any more injuries, your squad depth isn't all that, etc., etc. Going into that game, everything just seemed like it was against us. Matip was out, and then we have to play Reece Williams in, and then obviously you've got Son and Kane who are in unbelievable form this season. And it just had banana slip all over it. It had that feel of one of them games where the record could come crumbling down because it's Mourinho. We know that Mourinho loves to try and stink up the place at Anfield. And then to answer it with Firmino's winner, the man who's probably got the most criticism from rival fans, in the last minute, just the euphoria of it for me, and what it meant as well, because for me, that's not Tottenham right back down to where they are, which is they're never going to be title contenders. You can't compete with this Liverpool team. The mentality of us, like we go to the last minute, that's something that these other players and these other teams haven't got. I said the exact same thing to Saeed the other day. On paper, he might believe they've got a better squad. I ain't swapping our squad for anybody's in the league. I ain't swapping ours for any team in the world. It's as simple as that, because the mentality that this squad's got is different. And you see that in that game particularly. Reece Williams comes in, not an issue, looked absolutely solid. Baby Van Dijk, unbelievable performance. Yeah, so for me, it's that Tottenham game.
It's going to be difficult to disagree with that, Stro. I'm not going to lie. Got a couple super chats here. So Nur Beats, Miss Super Chat. It's best our legends leave on the top of their game. That will add to their status in the future. I don't know. I'd rather they not leave at their top or at their peak, if I'm going to be honest. Rodrigo.
As long as they don't overstay their welcome.
Yeah, it's that fine balance, isn't it? Which is quite difficult to get to. Rodrigo, do you guys think selling Salah might be worth it? Sorry if you guys touched on it. As a Chelsea fan, selling Hazard was great, allowing us to reinvest. For my answer, no.
I'll say no.
Not a chance on God's green earth to yourself. The Egyptian king, mate. Are you mad? He's another level. He's like having a great season as well. This is probably the best start he's had to a season since his first season.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, he's
better. He's made a better start to the season where 17-18 season. He's made a better start. So
would anyone in here? Why am I asking questions? Sorry, Cal. I'm just going to.
No, go on, Grizz. No. Go for
it. Presenter mode came out.
Would anyone take Mbappe? Would anyone swap Salah for Mbappe right now? Would you do this?
Not right now. Not right now.
Right now. Sorry, I'm talking end of season. Sorry, not right now. End of season.
No.
Yeah,
not even though. No, not right now. No.
Okay.
Grizz, I'll be honest.
There's no guarantee that Mbappe could do what Salah's done. Do you get what I mean? There's just no guarantee.
There's no guarantee Salah's going to carry on doing at the rate he's doing it. I get that.
It's more likely though, Grizz. You've got to look at what's more likely. Would Mbappe come into the Premier League straight
Mbappe's
away?
Mbappe's going to be the best player in the world for years to come. Injury.
Well, how do you know that,
injury.
Because you mentioned injury free, but like, how do you know that?
No, I don't.
Certified. We know that we're going to get a few good years out of Salah. We know he's reliable. We know that he's there every week.
You can obviously you can gauge judgment. Of course you can by following a player for years and years and years and see his record and watch him play. The eye test he's at a mess at PSG, but the guys look for me. We know I don't need to praise Mo Salah because we all know Mo Salah. We don't need to talk about Mo Salah. We know Mo Salah, but we also know that peak attackers have 4 years peak of their career, and this will be Mo Salah's third year, I think it will be. Yeah, so
fourth. No, this is
fourth
season.
17-18, yeah, 18-19.
Yeah. I'm the only one in here. You know, it's all part of the fun. I would take Mbappe at the end of the season if that was an option. Call me mad, but Mbappe is going to rip up this world, and under Klopp, he would just. But anyway,
you know what, Grizz? You know the other thing that would worry me about getting Mbappe, not just not being guaranteed to do what Salah does. Again, you got the loyalty thing that I said of like, if it's the club's decision to do that, I feel like Mo does all of that, and then we just go go on, we need someone else, and you just like get rid of him. But also, Mbappe is going to always be looking at that Real Madrid move, bro, always. And you know what? I don't really like those players. We're always going to be looking for that other move. So really, we signed Mbappe. He might duck out. He might duck out the same time Salah would go, bro. Like if you think of, say we kept Salah for another 2-3 years, by then Mbappe might be ready to duck out anyway, and then we're like, well, we got no one now.
It's exciting couple of years coming still. That's what I'm saying.
Marcus, Bun Torres, he's quick, but he has underwhelming metrics across the board. He's poor in the air. We know it's something Klopp places real importance on. Marcus, I say this with the utmost respect. When you say things like underwhelming metrics, I put very little on it because I could bring up stats showing that Breda Hangeland had a better metrics and stats than Vidic in his prime. I think it's about the eye test. I think it's about how they adapt to what they're playing now. Remember, in Spain, they don't even play that many balls in the air. Not like they do over here or maybe in France, for example. The ball's played a lot more technical in Spain as well. So again, it's difficult to judge. Like, for example, you may only get the ball twice punted up in the air in Spain. And if you lose one of those, you've only got a 50% success rate. But you've only lost 1 out of 2 duels. Whereas someone in this country may face 10 long balls, win 7. They've got a 70% success rate, but they've also lost 3, which is more than the other person's lost. So with metrics, I think metrics can be used to help an argument, but I don't think they can be the whole argument, in my opinion. But I hope that doesn't come across disrespectful to your super chat or your comment. But for me, I think it's more about the eye test when it comes to centre backs, personally. Beats, Matt is capping. He would defo swap Salah for Mbappe. What's your rebuttal, Matt?
Yeah, my rebuttal is to that, bro. I would not sell Salah right now. If you ask me that question, maybe in two years' time, maybe it might change. That's what I will say.
I want Mbappe
I wouldn't
to
sell
join this
any of our
front
star players until they're 32, 33.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Never. Mane needs to be buried on the centre circle of Anfield.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully in
Salah
years to come. Hopefully in years to come.
No,
I'm talking
but
about
you know
50 years while he's been working for the club after he can't play anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Guys,
about.
I just want to quickly touch on something just quickly because Grizz made a good point that we never really spoke about. Grizz actually said, how do we not know that Salah's not looking for a move? I know we all think that it's Mo Salah, Egyptian King, he's sitting back, he wants that new deal. So when that question is put to us, we got to think both ways. I didn't even think about it like that, really and truly, until Grizz said it. And then I thought about the interview as well. And remember, we even spoke about it on the show.
I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
You're Mo Salah, yeah? All right? You're Liverpool's greatest goal scorer, soon to be, or, just under rush, whatever, but breaking records, left, right, and centre. You've seen the situation we're in, COVID, everything, players getting injured. We need to keep headlines away from everything else. We've got enough in our plate. Yeah. You and your agent organize an interview with AS, a Real Madrid-based publication. Who? Real Madrid-based publication. You invite them and you have full control of what is released on that interview. You can stop certain sections of the questions. If you don't like the questions, you can say, I don't want to, don't ask me that question. Don't ask me that question. We talk about this. We talk about this. We talk about this. That's all I'm saying. He instigated all of that. Him and his agent knew exactly what was going to come out, that he's going to talk about Real Madrid or whatever. Yeah, he spoke nicely. Of course, he's going to say, I want to break all records. And then he left it in there. But it's up to Liverpool. It's in Liverpool's hands. And then you don't, you don't undermine Klopp's captaincy decision. Even if you think you're a bad man, you still say, or even if you do say it, I'm slightly disappointed. You say with a smile on your face and you say, but Trent's a winner. Trent's my young boy. Congratulations to Trent. He didn't mention nothing. I was very disappointed. And he left it at that. But it's a coach's decision.
Grizz, you got a point on that one. I do agree that if Salah wants to go, then that's when it gets to the point where you're like, I'll bun you then, and it duck. Like no manager would have appreciated. No manager would have appreciated our man doing that at this time of season, in this point of the season. Why are you doing that?
Imagine that when you think about it, as Grizz just said, man's actually inviting the press round.
He don't talk to no British journalists. No, one of the Liverpool journalists has ever he's agreed to do an interview with. Not one. All Joyce and Pierce and all these men. Not one person has been able to get an interview with him. Yet here he's calling AS. Yeah, let's talk. Cat amongst the pigeons, bruv. It's not always.
That's food for thought. I'm not gonna lie. It's food for thought.
I think he just wants a new deal, though. I don't.
No. I think he does, Drift. But I have to.
There's better ways, Drift. That is the case.
Man's putting feelers out.
That's true. Yeah.
Feel it. He's putting feelers out there. Remember when we spoke about on the show, guys, and we were like saying, "Raw, man, actually said it's all in the club's hands." Like, you don't need to say things like that, All you have to literally say is, "I'm happy at Liverpool. No other club. I don't want to think about another club. I'm happy where I am."
Now,
and do you know what I mean? The future's the future. That's what everyone says. But don't say things like, "It's in the club's hands," You never know. It's in the club's hands,
I leave it to the club and smiles. Come on.
Do you know who ruined everything for everyone? It was Man United. And I tell you the moment when they gave a new 4-year deal to Jones, took the absolute mickey out of every single element of football in the whole history.
Oh, I was like, hold on. Where's Phil Jones coming to this?
I don't understand where Phil Jones.
Because I was talking to my brother about this the other day, and he was like,
"What?
We've made a mockery of all transfer negotiations. Like, we gave Phil Jones a 4-year deal and about 150 grand a week and he's a dead footballer. So now everyone else, when they like, you think Salah wants to hear that Phil Jones nearly makes as much money as he does? Come on.
I swear, Drift. No, now what you said, I understand it. But when you first said Phil Jones, I was like, bro, my man just jumped in the random time machine and just started on Phil Jones for no reason.
Oh boy, I'll be honest. I'm hoping Salah stays, because if not, then this curly wig I've got, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. To be honest, I don't have much use for it.
You can have it for Curtis.
Yes, that's true. Actually, I might. It lives on.
And I just want to put it out there now. I think every single one of us wants Salah to stay, but I think that is a conversation that, unfortunately, we may have to look at again at the end of the season. And I think Grizz made a valid point. It doesn't mean to say that Salah's going. It just means that, as Grizz said, it's more open than what you would like to see.
Yeah, Mane ain't doing no interviews.
Mane,
Bobby ain't doing no interviews. Yeah, none of them.
It's true, bro. It's true.
Food for thought. So, guys, James, I'm going to start with you now. At the moment, we're clear at the top of the league. As things stand, all the other teams are kind of clustered together. Who do you actually think our biggest rival? I know you said you spoke to Saeed the other day as well, James, about squads. And again, I love what Saeed does. I can't agree with him that they've got a better squad than us. That, for me, is crazy talk. Do you think Man United are our closest rivals? Do you think it's someone else?
Closest? Oh, I think if it's most likely to be anyone, I think it's more likely to be United. That doesn't mean I think they're going to stay in the title race till the end of the season, because I don't think they've got that experience within that team. I don't think they've got the manager. Don't get me wrong, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's doing a job that all the previous managers since Sir Alex hasn't really been able to do. Closest probably being Jose Mourinho, because he won trophies and whatnot. But in the league, he got top 4 last season. This season, he's above City. He's above Chelsea. That was a gap to fill. And even though it's because City dropped and whatnot, you've just got to say it how you see it. And he's third. He's doing well. And if you're talking about, because the two closest teams to us right now is Leicester and it's Man United. And then it's kind of like Tottenham as well and them other teams. But right now, this current seconds, it's them two. I think the more likely team to stay with Liverpool for as long as possible out of them is Man United, based on the quality they've got on paper. Now, I agree with you, Cal. I don't think they've got a better team than us on paper. I think it goes beyond a first 11, but also a second team, as well as the fact that we've got youth players coming up, proving that they're stepping up to the plate on a first team basis in the Premier League. By the way, United haven't shown that type of depth within their squad to say that they've got a better team. However, their team do look happier now, and morale is a massive thing. We saw that in Liverpool. When the morale went up, it was like the performances just got better. Even if some of the ballers weren't that good. Do you remember when Joe Allen, when he started playing boss for Liverpool, and it was like when he left, we were losing a crucial squad player and whatnot. Like, you realise that these players, when they're happy and they're getting along and they're in a good environment, they play better. So I think with that fact, and Leicester's in a similar situation, but Man United have got a better squad with higher quality. So I think they'll stick it out longer. But this is the reason why I don't think Tottenham are going to win the league, or Man United will be able to stay with us for the league. It's because they haven't got that experience. And Stro mentioned it before. That game against Spurs was massive, mate, for many different reasons. And it's like Liverpool now know, even though that's a game in December, we know how massive that game is, because if Spurs do go on to have a great season and win every game on, we need to make sure we got that 3 points over them. And we know that from the last time we were in a title race and we didn't go on to win it. So I think it will probably be Man United if it's anyone. But this season's so mad that it can just switch and turn. And it only takes Leicester to win that game against Man United on the weekend for it to all be different. But if you're asking me who's most likely, Man United.
Sorry, can I just clear? Did Saeed actually say that Maguire's better than Van Dijk?
Yeah, this was something a while ago. Listen, mate.
Oh, swear. Yes, he said it.
Yeah.
It was just... Listen, did you not say... Did I hear that Saeed said that Man United have a better squad than Liverpool?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, that's a
okay.
fact.
So in Manchester, they are smoking the highest grade bushweed you can ever.
I've been asking where he's been getting it from. To not gonna lie,
it ain't weed, lads.
That's right. No, that's right. I can't reveal what it's called because I can't remember, but it's a Somalian team, yeah? No, I'm serious, and it's serious, and I need to stop him from smoking too much of it. Like a little bit, like you chew on it. Yeah, you chew on it. Right? Yeah. I can't
One of
remember the
them
name.
ones.
Remember the
Right.
name,
You know,
man.
anything you chew, Grizz, it's a myth.
I'm outing him, yeah, but I can't remember the name, man. But you chew on it, and it gets you higher. And if you notice, he's always chewing.
You heard the exclusive. You know when Grizz drops his exclusives, innit?
I'm gonna get you the name for it. I can't remember the name, man.
How? They've got a better squad than us.
A better squad.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to be...
Might have to get Saeed on here, you know. We might have to get Saeed on here.
Because maybe he can explain. Maybe he was in a dark place that day. I don't know. Maybe he can... I don't know, bro.
No, Matt, he was in a happy place, not a dark place.
No, that is true. After what Chris has said, he must have been happy. So
listen, mate, he was saying they can win the league. That's what Saeed was saying. He went in a bad mood, mate.
Do you know what? I will say this, and jumping off what you said, James. Man United, I'm not gonna laugh at them to the point where you go, "Oh my!" Listen, Man United have improved this season, but they've improved, and I think this season, because it's a little bit of an anomaly in terms of form and that, and how 2020's been. Man United have, to be fair, to give them credit, they've done as best as they can, and if they win their game in hand, if I'm not mistaken, they go 2 points behind. Now we shouldn't laugh at Man United when we say they can win the league, but I just feel like if you look at football and cycles and history and what's going on right now, you still, in my opinion, have to put Liverpool as favourites. You just do. And I'm not saying it because we're on a Liverpool channel. I'm not saying it because we're on a Liverpool platform. I'm just saying you look at what Liverpool have at their Arsenal, no pun intended, yeah? And then you look at what Man United have. You take out Bruno Fernandes out their team, they're kind of pear-shaped. We've had no Thiago for how long? And look at what we've done. We've had no Van Dijk. We've had no Gomez. We've had no Mane. We've had no Salah. We've had no Trent. We've had no, we've had no Alisson.
Yeah, but Matt, that's the point I'm making. But whether the fluke of this season and the way this season has been so weird, there's loads of teams that could win it just out of the fluke of the weirdness of the way this season is going. Man. That's a factual statement. But to say that they've got as good of a squad as us, bro, they've got to do a Transformers combined devastator for their midfielders to even level up to a Jones, Ruben. Never mind a Thiago or a Henderson. Are you mad?
That's a Constructicons, you know. It's a mad thing.
Bro, don't even get me started, bro. Like, their bench isn't even as good as our bench, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Saeed mentioned centre-backs, right? And I was saying, do you know what's mad? I don't think there's one Manchester United centre-back, maybe now with the circumstances, but I don't think there's one of them that are better than any of ours. I think all of our centre-backs are better than all of theirs.
Yeah. I agree.
Our worst centre-back,
100%,
is better than all of theirs, without a doubt.
No, but
Fabinho would go to Man United and be their best centre-back. He's not even a centre-back.
There's no doubt
about
that.
Right, so guys, the whole point we're trying to make, because I was on it, obviously, Manchester-based, like, I love him to death, Saeed's family, but he's fucking crazy at times with these stupid comments. And I've said this to him so many times. Like
one of them mates.
With him, innit? Like, me and him go back and forth. Like, I love him to death, but wild statements. The whole point he was making was because he wants Ollie out, he believes with a better manager that can get more out of the squad. That was the whole angle he was going with. And then and I agreed with him to that extent. Then he made that comment, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I said to him, so I was on his stream with Aaron and all them, and I was like, listen to me. This is the point of what I make. I went, on paper, Pogba is a better player than Henderson. Does not mean for 1 second I'm ever taking Paul Pogba in this Liverpool team over Jordan Henderson, because Jordan Henderson right now is operating at a world-class level. I went, so you can believe that on paper you have got a better team. I ain't swapping this team for nobody in Manchester United, not one player. And he was like, but I understood the point he was making at, because he was basically saying that he wants a better manager because he's Ollie out. There's ways to do it, Saeed. I love you to death, brother, but like, there's ways to do it. That's a wild way. Let's be honest.
There's ways to do it. Musa LFC 21. He said VVD was overrated and he's a system defender and doesn't get exposed because of Klopp's system. And they use the same thing for Henderson. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get in contact with Saeed.
We need to get because again, respect to Saeed as well. Respect to Saeed because obviously I've never met him and I'm only hearing comments and I don't want to take things out of context. But I will say this though: to say Van Dijk is a system defender, because then what happens then when he goes to Holland? Are we saying we see Van Dijk just suddenly just fall off a cliff when he plays for Holland? Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's been doing it at Southampton for a while as well. Like, bro,
if Van Dijk is a system player, what's Maguire?
He's a Mykonos defender.
He's a broken system. Maguire's just a broken system. That's what he is. He's just a broken system.
He's a bloody dinner lady, bro.
Nur Beats. He's high on cat. Plus it's Somali, not Somali. Is that what it is? Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and sorry, I said Somali and Somali. Sorry, that's the right term.
Paul Rain, with all due respect, much appreciation for your super chat. I physically can't say this out loud. But thank you for the super chat, Paul. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. But I can't say that. I can't bring myself to say that, unfortunately. So, guys, before we let you guys go, and again, thanks for joining us. Gonna ask you guys quickly the team of the year so far to this point. Now, obviously, it's Liverpool players and other players. But I'm quickly going to go... I'll probably go around everyone. And then we'll start with goalkeeper. What do we say for goalkeeper?
Alisson.
Ali, yeah, has to be.
No shouts for Martinez? Most clean sheets so far this season?
Ooh, do you know what?
He tried after winning an FA Cup, man. Get out of it.
No, he's been good though. He's been good.
Listen, Alisson is clear because you realise what he offers when he's not there. And I understand Martinez is very good also, and he's done very well this season. And probably based on expectation, he should edge it. But come on, mate, Alisson is clear, and he deserves to be in the team of the year.
Fair enough. Musa LFC 21. Basically, when you talk to them, be prepared for the argument that our players are only good because of Klopp's system. And that's all they ever say. That's fine. I've got plenty of preparation for that.
Yeah. We've got grenades for that, fam. We've got grenades. We've got bazookas. We've got a lot for that. So
I go through it on a daily basis with them, man. So
yeah,
jealousy is an ugly emotion.
Yeah, it is. Right back so far this season, guys.
Definitely not Reece James. Let me just make that clear, Chelsea fans. Definitely not Reece James.
Reece James!
Lamptey, for me.
Yeah, Lamptey.
That's a good shot,
Yeah.
Yeah, I go.
Star boy.
Bellerin. What am I talking about?
You say Bellerin?
I knew he was taking the piss. Lamptey's a shout. It's not Trent on form because this season Trent is just being a star
boy.
Left back, is this even a conversation, guys?
Not even a conversation.
It's not a conversation, fam.
Definitely not Ben Chilwell. Push him out.
Yeah.
Chilwell.
Nah. Chilwell needs to chill. That's what he needs to do. Centre back.
Fabinho, 100%.
Yeah, Fabinho,
Straight like a shot.
There's a good shout for I know you don't like him, Cal. There's a good shout for Zuma. He's been very good this season.
No,
Thiago Silva's been better. Zuma's been better.
Thiago Silva been better than Zuma.
Actually defended.
Zuma's getting underplayed. Zuma's been very good this season.
I was gonna say, what about Alderweireld? Still, he's done a right.
Cal ended it with Diaz. You can see the difference he's made to a Man City defense, man. Ruben Diaz has been. Cal smashed it with that one. That slipped my mind as well.
He has defensive defense. But I think you can't sleep on Alderweireld as well, though. I think Tottenham have actually done the right defensively.
And do you know what? I'll say Alderweireld because Tottenham have got the best record.
It's a shot. It's a toss-up between them two, I think.
I'm going to go Diaz, so we'll split that down the middle. We'll let the people decide on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Centre mid. What are we saying for centre mid?
Hendo.
Genie.
Yeah, Hendo.
Just because he broke the record in one game, Thiago. All right, move on.
No, Hendo, Genie. Who'd be the third then?
Hendo, Genie.
Bruno be in there?
Bruno.
If he did, it's probably Bruno.
Ward-Prowse got a shout.
Ward-Prowse is a shout.
That is a good shout, Ward-Prowse. Hey, Grealish. Grealish.
Grealish. You know what? No, but you men are sleeping on someone. What about Chelsea's record signing, Kai Havertz? Kai have 70, what, sorry? 70 M's. More like 70 M&M's, bro. About 70 million.
Nah,
70 M&M's they paid.
73 mil, bro.
No, it's more than Van Dijk.
73.
It's more than Van Dijk. Stro just said.
73
more than Van Dijk?
M&M's, bro.
Yeah, it was on Sky Sports today talking about record signings. It was 75.8 million. It's more than Van Dijk.
Jesus.
Bro, do you know what? I'll be real with you. He's got potential, and I'm not gonna say that he's dead or anything, but he really has to step up his game. He can't be that amount of money and not like help and improve your team. You just can't be. Like he looks like everyone tries to give him a blind and say, "Oh, he plays the game at his own pace." No, I just don't think he can keep up with the pace of the Premier League right now. He has to adapt. He's got the potential. I'm not gonna sit here in 2 years' time and say, "Remember what I said," because I still think he will come good. But right now, man is doo-doo. I'll be honest with you. He's kind of poor. He's poor.
Do you know
He
what?
needs to wake up.
I think
Moose LFC 21 said party.
No, there's no party right there. There's no party.
you know what? Ndombele's in with a shout.
Yeah, and
He's
the
been
Nah,
very good this season.
Nah,
No,
he's-
not even
Nah.
Grealish and Bruno.
Højbjerg's ahead of
Yeah,
him.
he's only done it in spurts, man. He has
Højbjerg
like
is
2-3
well.
games and that's it, and he gets injured.
Højbjerg's been very good.
Højbjerg
Yeah.
has been very good.
Son's been electric, but you want to go up top with him? Oh no, he's a
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah,
Grizz, who we going
front
up top?
three.
I think 2 are certain. Do you know? I think the front 3 certain, guys. If I'm going to be
You
honest
think?
and unbiased.
I'll just say my front three. I think it's Son, Kane, Salah.
Yeah, same.
So what are we?
Son, Kane, and Salah.
You know, we've got short memories, man. Diogo,
Go on.
Diogo,
No,
Jota,
no,
what are you saying?
I hear
man.
you.
You know
I
what?
hear you.
We've got short
You know
memories,
what?
man.
It's definitely Salah, and you can't say not Kane. But here's the thing: what Grizz is saying, and this is what burns it.
I get Son
What
over
hurts me.
Jota. Yeah, I get.
Yeah. Son's over Jota,
I get
but
that.
it hurts because you kind of know that. I think if Jota doesn't get injured, Jota continues on that wave,
Yeah, he
and
had
then we're
double
having a
figures by now.
conversation. Yeah, we're having a
100%.
conversation. We're going, who's better this season, Son or Jota, kind of thing.
Hey,
I've got to be honest, though.
We've not mentioned forward line. Aubameyang, man.
Who's that?
Oh shit!
Bro,
Who?
what about Lacazette?
Aubameyang.
Best season
Bare
of his career.
twerking, backing up,
Oh,
bare
Aubameyang.
defenders, just bare twerking.
Yeah, man. Like he should have been
What-
discussed as
wait.
a left back option.
Nah, Lacazette, bro.
Wasn't Lacazette in your GIF that you tweeted?
The twerking.
wasn't that Lacazette?
Bro, Lacazette, just bare backing up the thing. Just backing up, you know.
Wait, that's all he does.
Back
That's all he does.
where,
I
back
used to
where.
I used to coach a team. I used to have one player called Yomi, yeah, and he was like proper built like that and everything, yeah. And that's all he ever done. But he was so good at shielding the ball. He just reminds me of Lacazette. He could shield the ball all the way to the goal.
Hey, Carl, you see that Lacazette thing?
You know,
That
players hanging off him, he just stick out his. And that's it all the way to the goal.
Carl, you see the
Yeah.
the thing that Chris talking about with the GIF, yeah, and about
Yeah,
the GIF he put out, yeah, and the Lacazette thing, bro. When I saw the GIF, all I thought of was 100%. This is Lacazette, and if we could have, we should have put a tune over it that said "Ben over, Ben over, Ben over, Ben over, Ben over." I'm telling you, bro.
AA Arman's having a little dig at Matt Hare, the Black J Spearing, aka Kater.
Why? Why you look? Listen, it's Christmas, isn't it? Like, I just
It
think
is
people need to be patient with Naby Keita. It's that simple. I'm not gonna say no more. Just be patient and give him till the end of the season. I've already said that I am going to, because if he doesn't, then it's a conversation to be had, and I can't complain because he hasn't shown his true potential in 3 years. Because this is his third season, so give him to the end of the season, man.
Matt,
Yeah.
patience is
Also-
a virtue, bro, and it's running out big time.
Bro, but again, you don't want to pull the trigger too early, man. Real talk. Because if Naby Keita balls out and people are still being like, "Oh no, we should just get rid of him because we can go and get such and such," don't always work on that, bro. Because you can
Nah,
sell a
true.
Keita. It doesn't always work like that. The replacement doesn't
But
always
just-
come in and be a bad man. It doesn't
Just
always
keep this
happen.
man away from planes. Is all I ask. Don't let him get on the plane. Like the man got injured on a plane. How long?
Alright,
It's worse than that. Don't let him go shop by himself. Don't let him beat. Don't let him do anything, bruv.
Bro, if that's the case, you gotta put an SOS for Origi, fam, because we ain't seen man in the basement for a long time. He ain't even in the basement anymore.
At least he's fit when you need him.
Bruv, what, in the bunker doing kick-ups by himself? Bruh.
Naby gets injured in his sleep. He goes to sleep fine, wakes up, he's like, boss, I pulled my hammy in the night. I don't know how, but
bruv,
yeah, I can't.
Your boy is doing kick-ups, yeah, in a bunker with stones and still can't get a look in. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Gio, Grizz, I can't believe you put Furlan Mendy over Theo Hernandez. Like the Kopish guys say, Mendy can't even come outside to Theo Hernandez, the best French left back. I think that's a conversation. I wouldn't say one's clear of the other. There's definitely a conversation. Furlan Mendy can come outside.
Furlan Mendy is serious.
He's very good. Very, very good.
So is Theo Hernandez. It's not like one's 10 and one's a 9. So it's not. But when you say he can come outside, they can come outside of each other.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what that brother's referring to. Like where, like.
Oh, I don't know.
Because Theo Hernandez has come up this season and smashing it for Milan, like the top of the title. And Furlan Mendy, man, he's for Real Madrid, man. He's won titles, Champions Leagues. He's nothing like that other Mendy at City, man. People sometimes get confused and think, yeah, maybe he's got the same characteristics of that other joker, that Instagram fella at City. But this guy's the real deal, man. Furlan Mendy.
Yeah, 100%. 100.
Basti, what would your banter 11 be of this year? Probably just the Arsenal team. Probably just the Arsenal team.
Great shout.
With Park Life in goal. Oh no, sorry. It would still be Arsenal because my man the other day actually did worse than
Runnerson, they'll have Runnerson, yeah. Matt in 2045, give Naby some time, he will come good.
You see the disrespect? I can't wait for Naby. Listen, I'm not going to say no more about Naby Keita, you know? I'm not going to say nothing more. Not going to say nothing
Agent Cal, you have to pick one flop, Pepe, Havertz, or Bale.
Pepe's the biggest flop in Premier League history.
Pepe.
Biggest flop in Premier League history.
Oh, we're talking
right now.
Yeah, overall.
Now,
Pepe, like the man's that.
When is it time to actually have that discussion? Because everybody always wants to have.
It was last year. The time was last year, bro.
So. No, the thing is, rightly so. Pogba gets a lot of slack, yeah, because he's nowhere near as good as he was supposed to be. But there's still been moments during his Man United career where you can still go, you know what? At least he did well at that point. He did well at that point. He did well at that point.
Kepa comes into the conversation. Kepa of Chelsea comes into
the conversation. Kepa as well. He's been absolutely pants.
But you know, the only reason why I say Kepa doesn't is because I think Kepa's first season was still very good. And then somehow he fell off a cliff. In his first season, I think he did very good.
No, I say no, bro, it wasn't. His first season was still he had bare mistakes, you know.
Nah, I don't think his first season.
Not as much as the second season, but he had a few mistakes. But I still agree with you on Pepe. Bro, Pepe was supposed to be, listen, I'm not even going to dig certain people out, but certain man said to me that Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang were going to rival our front three. I'll never forget that. And
no, they said it was better, bruv.
No, we laughed, Jeff. We just laughed. We just did.
Grizz, earlier in the conversation, you made a good point that people were trying to make offers for Naby, but Klopp was turning it down, or club was turning it down.
Carl, what?
Is that? No, I'm just asking.
Man said it's Christmas, you know, and you want to do this, but cool. No, it's cool.
No, the reason I'm asking is because a lot of people have said, like, we all think on this channel that this might be his last season if he doesn't deal with the injuries well and all that. So is that basically Klopp saying no matter what happens this season, he's still definitely in the future plans, Grizz?
Bro, Klopp loves him, man. Klopp literally loves him. Like, he has had offers, and, you know, Klopp said, I don't even want to entertain them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Inter Milan, Dortmund wanted him. Inter Milan wanted him. Because when we asked about Sancho, they asked about Keita. But we said, no, we don't want to know about Keita. So he's got big faith in him. But I get the frustration with it. We have to give him to the end of the season. He has to perform. Like, no, not even perform.
He does.
Stay fit and he'll perform. So it's not even about the performance. He has to stay fit. And sometimes
Yeah.
you have to say, look, some players are unlucky at certain clubs and don't make it, even though we know Naby can ball, man. There's not even a question. But Klopp loves him, Cal. Klopp, we know that anyway, because man waited for a whole year for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was waiting for him. We had,
Grizz.
again. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, bro. Just quickly, how do you think there's a possibility, even if like Genie was to go, that he would actually consider selling one of our midfielders, potentially Ox, because of injuries as well? If you're saying that he loves KR,
Decisions to be made, Matt. 100%. I've been on the Ox, when we need to talk about Ox debate for ages, man, and still ongoing, man. We need to talk about Ox at some point. Again, like Naby, them two players, we know what they can bring to the table. We know what they can bring to the team, but how often have they brought that to the team, man? And we're getting to that age where we're getting to that level of this team where, as you said, we need to think about the future. Are they the two midfielders who are fairly young still that we're going to build on? Are they going to be the new reliable Hendo and Genie? Like Hendo and Genie were super reliable, last 4 or 5 years, whatever. Are Ox and Naby going to do that?
No, it's true.
It's a debate to be had.
2Pixel2, Matt, every time I can't wait for Naby. None of us can wait, bro. Can't wait for him to go, that is. Man would probably get injured after having a good time with himself.
Do you know what I would say to that? And this is me being so real, yeah? If you want a player to succeed, obviously you give them as much time as you can. And everyone has different patience, innit? But I just think at Liverpool, we are blessed with midfielders. I think if we were a different team and we kind of only had 3 good midfielders or 4, that's when you kind of would maybe have to pull the plug a bit early, because you're thinking, right, this man hasn't performed in 2 seasons. Like, we've got to get rid of him. We're kind of blessed that we have all these midfielders. So I think that's another reason why, and I'm including Ox in this as well. It's got nothing to do about their footballing ability, Ox and Naby. It's about, can they stay fit? So again, I've already said, and I'll say it one more time, give them both to the end of the season to see if they can stay fit. And I think that's a conversation to be had. Right now, it doesn't make any sense to sell anybody in January, in my opinion. Anybody.
Matt, not to keep piling on Naby, but just quickly, he's very lucky we've been the best team in the world for the last 2 years. Because I've got to be honest, bro, if you cost 58 million and do as little as he's done, whether it's been through availability or not, you are considered a major flop and will be a talking point every week. He's very lucky we've been so good. Matt, if you think about Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool,
but he's not a major flop. A major flop is Pepe.
If this was Brendan Rodgers,
he's not a major flop, fam. But he's not.
Matt, if this was Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool, that weren't really doing well, and had paid £58 million for midfielder, and Naby gave us exactly what he's given us now, we would all be sitting there going, that was a terrible decision, and he's been a flop. We would. But because he's been carried by all of the other success we've had, he's allowed to get away with this. Bro, he's been carried through the success. His lack of availability is terrible, bro. It's terrible.
But
you have to just admit it, bro.
All right. But here's the joke. Here's the bit where I don't understand. You don't have the same energy for Matt because you weren't saying that last season. Last season, you were talking about
Matt, it was free, Matt. We paid 58 mil for Naby,
Let me
bro.
finish.
It changes things, bro.
No. Let me finish.
It changes things,
Let me finish. You're talking about energy. You're talking about players' fee, yeah? All right, let me just put you black and white. Take out fees. We just talk about player availability. Matic can't stay fit. Gomez can't stay fit. Ox can't stay fit. Naby can't stay fit, yeah? Henderson has had his injury problems in the past. There has never been a witch hunt for any of those players other than Naby Keita because of the fee. I think that's very unfair. I think that's very, very unfair because
not just the fee, bro. Not just the fee. Expectation.
Should I tell you why?
And he was supposed to change our midfield, bro.
I'll tell you why. When Matip come in, Matip was free, as you said, yeah? You said he was free. But because Naby Keita cost 52 million, you're there saying, oh, but look at the price, blah, blah, blah. Bro, he hasn't been a flop. He just hasn't been the Naby Keita that I suppose has been consistent.
Bro,
I've not seen bad.
It wasn't just about the free, bro. I was told Naby was gonna come and be the best midfielder in the league. I was. So it was expectation as well, bro.
But bro, you need to understand something. No one comes in my opinion, to a Liverpool team right now and just suddenly just becomes the best midfielder in the league. It doesn't work like that. We both know that. And so I don't know where you got that info from. Bro, Thiago has been doing it for how long? How old is Thiago compared to Keita?
That's not the. But he's only 4 years older than him.
Bro, Thiago's in his prime. He's been.
Yeah, but Naby's
29 years old.
25, bro. He's not a child.
Let's leave the
I never
Naby
said he
stuff.
was a
Let's leave the
child.
Naby stuff for another show. Let's leave it for another
Bro,
show. I'm gonna read out
the
the rest
witch
of these
hunt
things.
is so clear, and that's why. And this is the thing, and that's why when I say things about Divock Origi, bro, I just have to be real with man. Because if you're gonna have that same energy, we're gonna have the same energy for Origi. But man, don't want to hear it.
No, bro. I agree. But when Naby scores a brace against Barcelona, we'll talk.
A brace against Barca. Okay.
Musa LFC 21. It's more likely Ox, Genie, Millie leave first. AA find someone who believes in you like Matt on Naby.
Do you know what it is, bro? I back players until the end, innit? It's one of them ones, bro. Like it's a real thing because Drift will back Divock Origi and man won't do nothing in the whole game and start crying and say things like, "Well, he doesn't play, and we didn't play to his strengths." So therefore, we can't give him a blind.
We'll touch on that later. We'll touch on that later.
I don't do that. I just say it was poor.
Matt, no shame in my game. I told you, I've got an Origi agenda, and I
love Divock Origi, bro.
I do, bro, and I own
it. Love him. Like you gave him a Christmas card and present. We love my man.
He ain't showed it, bro.
FC 21. By the way, can you guys touch on Stevie and Elliot, my goats? We're going to touch on those in our next show next week. We are going to touch on Elliot especially. Ace Industries, Matt, this energy wasn't there for Taki Minamino.
Oh my gosh. What did I say about Taki? Did I not say? I was wrong.
I don't know. We're going to wrap up here though, guys. We are going to wrap up here.
Yeah, before we go, Grizz and Stro, I just want to ask you one question, yeah? And it's not shade, I'm just genuinely asking. If Ox and Naby were to go, honestly, what do you think we could get for them in terms of a fee?
30 to 40 million. 30 to 40 million. Nah. Naby.
As in, like, individually, like, how, because I personally.
Naby will command a fee.
Naby, 30 to 40 million, we could still command, I reckon. I'd guess.
You think so?
Ox.
Yeah, bruv.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bournemouth ain't in the league no more. That was the only team we could bully.
All right, Grizz. Because Drift's trying to be slick. Let me ask you one more quick question. I'll be real. All right, let me ask you one quick question, Grizz. If we was to sell Divock Origi, how much would we get for him?
let's wrap it up.
I can't even put a fee on it.
No, but Matt, here's the joke. I already told you that I know we won't get a big fee for Origi. My love for the player doesn't make me think we'll get a lot of money for him. I know we'll probably only get like 10
I was the wrong person.
Do you know what, Jeff?
I was the wrong person to ask about Origi because remember at the start of the show, I swapped him with Bamford.
I know. That's what I asked you. That's what I asked. Do you know what it is? All right, let me ask you both this. If you could sell one player, would you sell Naby or would you sell Divock Origi? Just to quickly end it now.
Origi, man. There's no question for me. Origi.
Stro?
Origi.
Callum?
You know mine.
No, say it. I want to hear you say it, fam.
Origi. I'd sell Origi.
Drift?
You know I would sell Naby. Come on.
There we go. Keeping it real.
You got your Christmas present, Matt. Everybody would keep Naby. Yay.
I'm sorry, Drift. I forgot. Where's Darth Drift? We need to bring up his comment.
No, guys. Grizz, Stro, massive thank you for coming on. Can you tell, Stro, I'll start with you. Where can the people find you, bro, so they can follow you more often?
So, Mr. Stro on Instagram, on Twitter, Stro official Instagram, the Alicia Wayman Foundation, charity in aid of my little sister who passed away from mental health. So, yeah, if you're feeling anything bad over the Christmas period, obviously hit me up on there and always happy to talk. But yeah, the Alicia Wayman Foundation and charity football game will be happening once COVID's over and hopefully to get all these men involved in it. But yeah, you can catch me on there.
Big up.
Stro, do me a favor. Send me the link to the charity so we can put it in the description for this video so more people can see it as well, bro. And Grizz, where can the people find you, bro?
Just at LFC Day Trippers, man. We've, you know, as you guys know, we've only started the LFC Day Trippers YouTube a couple of about 3 months now. And yeah, man, the more the merrier, man. We can all share and love this platform. And thank you very much for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. Just before we go, 2 more super chats. So Origi with Dreads, £50 million. Origi without it, 99 cents. That's hard. And Agent Cal, Brewster was 25 mil. Edwards will work. And easy 30 mil for Origi, I'm guessing. Time will tell. Time will tell. But guys, just want to say a very Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating. If you're not celebrating, have a nice break. Obviously, it's been a rough year. Make sure you stay safe. Make sure you have a good holiday. Get some rest. Have some nice food. Wild Staff. Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. And guys, just have a good time. But most importantly, stay safe. Thank you everyone who's supporting and watching. Do smash the like button if you haven't already. Continue to subscribe as well. Indeed, Cal's missing beard. This is another one now. Big up to Stro and Grizz. Much love to you too. And obviously we'll work together loads more in the future as we go along. My name is Callum.
Make sure you eat a lot, guys. Eat.
Oh yeah, we will.
Oh, we will, fam. Sure.
If you don't put on Callum, at least £3 over Christmas, you didn't do it properly, man.
Can't do that, bro. I'm not in a position to be doing that right now. My name's Callum, man like Matt Drifty, Stro, Grizz. We are Kopish. Over and out, people. Take care.
Peace. Merry Christmas, everyone.